And now, welcome to the Great Cigar and Pipe Show. Presented by Hiram and Solomon Cigars. And also the Oliva Cigar family. Coming to you live from the Corona Cigar Company studios.
I am a blues man. I live this life.
And do not adjust your televisions, folks. We are live a half hour early.
Well, actually, 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
It's like the outer limits. I think I screwed up the start time. Sorry, everybody, but
Frank, you had one fucking job.
One job to do, and he fucks it up. Oh,
you know,
hey,
it's the heat.
It's the heat.
It's the heat.
All right, let's go with that. Welcome, everybody, to an early session of
Early edition.
the Great Cigar and Pipe Show. You know, we're so excited of our wonderful guest that we had to go on early and get things rolling.
I've been demoted.
I know.
Yeah.
The guest. You're now a guest.
He's now a guest.
You're no longer a co-host. You've been demoted to guest.
Well, I could have said sidekick tonight, but it's not. So we are early, and we're going to have our guests coming on and let them know that, yes, our main Chooch, Cousin Frank, fucked up. So we're just joining. But it's the heat.
There's worse
it's
things.
The heat down there. Look, he looks like a pirate. Look, he looks like a pirate.
Well,
Where's Johnny Depp when we need him? Come here. Look at him, Frank. Look, the glasses are fogging up down there. All right, take it away, Frank. Tell us your excuse.
There's a lot more fogging up down there.
Me and Bob were suffering from heat stroke here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's been 124 real feel for weeks, it feels like.
What are you doing over there?
Ronnie's playing with himself again.
Well, that's nothing unusual.
I am.
You know, I would say we're offbeat tonight, but we're really not.
Oh, well, somebody's beating off.
So, all I want to say is sorry. I mistakenly put 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, rather 8 o'clock, as opposed to 8:30 as the set time. So we came on a little early, but folks don't care. As long as we're on, they don't care.
I'm just glad we didn't go auto live.
Even our usual,
that would have been really bad.
Even our usual Earthling is on watching now. So I mean, couldn't have been that early because he jumped on.
Everything is good. Everything is good.
Listen, everything is good in life.
Under control.
All I can tell you is I am super excited to smoke this cigar paired with this incredible Scotch, because I know we ran into Greg. Me and Bob were running around. I don't know. I know Bob. Maybe did you speak to Greg? I think you might have spoken to Greg. But I'm looking forward to smoking his. I'm thinking that this is Joey's favorite cigar because of the name of the cigar. It's called Midnight Bender.
There you go.
And Joe's always on a bender, so why not?
They actually named the cigar after me.
That's right.
So that's why it's my favorite cigar. Yeah,
it's true. So I'm looking forward to talking to Greg and finding out more about his journey in the land of cigars and why cigars. I always find it fascinating how people get involved in the cigar business because, you know, and a lot of them come from different backgrounds, Bob.
Oh, of course they do.
You know,
you don't have to be, part of the families that have been involved with it.
The
for
royal
many
families.
Years, the royal families. You can say that.
Right.
There's a lot of people who entered later in life, and some people only a few years have been involved in it, and making pretty nice sticks.
Oh yeah, they're making waves. So,
oh yeah,
so
for sure,
we're excited about that. We have great guests. Joey, I might as well let you speak since you're busting my horns the whole time before the show. So
it's the Joey Chicken Show.
Absolutely. I'm Chicken Joe now. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Well, for all Italians, we know that Gulino is a chicken.
All right, for all you newbies, I'm Joe Gulino. I write for Whiskey Network magazine. That's a virtual whiskey magazine, a virtual whiskey lifestyle magazine. You can find us online at whiskeynetwork.net. It's free to subscribe. All you do is punch in your email address and boom, you're subscribed. You get a monthly publication that goes directly to your email inbox, and then you get our weekly barrel reports that come out every Friday, right again directly to your email inbox. So what I do for Whiskey Network is I do whiskey and cigar pairing reviews. So that led me to these guys, these Chooches, as a guest initially, and now I'm here as a regular co-host. I've been writing for the magazine for about 2 years now. You'll find the cigar and whiskey pairing reviews in the Sips and Stogies section of
also
the
known as
magazine.
marzipan and wet carpet.
Yes, absolutely. I will throw out some outrageous tasting notes on either the whiskey or the cigar, how they pair together. But that's I'll be honest, what I'm getting on these pairings.
We're still trying to figure out how you know wet carpet tastes.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time down there.
Yeah. I just rubbed some marzipan on the carpet and then we're good to go. Yeah. You guys are fucking assholes. You know that? Okay. So now I lost my train of thought because you guys fucked me up.
Start all over. Start all over. Don't worry.
Okay, so you will find the reviews in the Sips and Stogies section of the magazine, again, which is just online. It's only published virtually. It's the only whiskey lifestyle magazine like it. We just moved from one platform to a better platform because we are growing. So what I do is I do a monthly live pairing here on the Great Cigar and Pipe Show with these Chooches. And then I'll do a follow-up article on that actual pairing that we do live. So that's what I do. That's why I'm here. Tonight we have Fuerte Y Libre cigars, which means smoke strong, live free. We'll have Greg Free. He is the owner of the cigar brand. He's going to jump on with us to run us through the cigar that we are featuring tonight, which is the Midnight Bender. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, that's what Joe does at night.
Yeah,
he bends himself.
Like I said, they named the cigar after me.
Yep.
So
Nice.
And then we're gonna have his partner in crime, Genevieve Harris, on, who also promotes this select draw. If you can open that up and show the audience there, it's a newer tool that you use to punch your cigar multiple times without even having to cut your cigar. You can leave the cap on and just punch it a few times or as much as you like and personalize your draw. I used it for the first time last night. And Mark, if you're watching, this is a kick-ass product.
Joey, what size cigar do you have to have for that? Because it looks like it's for a larger
Any
ring.
size.
So there's 3 prongs. If you have a smaller ring gauge, you're only going to use 2. If you have a larger one, you're going to use all 3.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe in the
and that looks like you could do some damage as a self-defense weapon.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be nice. You could
you could take somebody's eye out with that.
or you'd scratch them up pretty good.
Yeah.
You'd gouge them.
So in comparison, like there's my thumb across all 3 there. So I mean, it doesn't really have to be that big. So
yeah, Jerah's been known to ninja chuck these at you. So
like
she's
stars.
been practicing on that Frank target. Yeah.
Okay, so then we're going to be pairing this Midnight Bender cigar with Lochlea's Fallow Edition first crop single malt Scotch whiskey, which is a newer distillery that I discovered a few months ago. I've done some tasting notes in our newsletter on this expression. I reached out to the distillery who hooked me up with Joshua Hatton, who is the national sales director for IMPEX Beverages, which is the distribution company that distributes this distillery's expressions. So we'll hear from Joshua, who's going to run us through this whiskey and all the details about it and what we can expect on the pairing. So I'm looking forward to hearing from all 3 of these amazing guests. I've already reviewed this Midnight Bender in Leaf and Grain Society. I gave it a 96 rating, and when it coming back to it a few weeks later for Whiskey Network magazine, it delivered exactly the same. It's a kick-ass cigar, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this pairing and letting you guys know more about this cigar, more about this whiskey, and how it pairs together.
Okay, great, Joey. I think that'll take us right into our sponsors, and when we come back, we can actually introduce our guests and have them kind of take over. And this way, Joey can keep his mouth shut.
Don't you want to do the introduction for the rest of us?
Introduce everybody.
All we know is him.
And then I have one more, and I have one more in-house.
Listen, I got 6 minutes to kill to 7:30, Frank.
Oh, that's right. We did start early, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
So that's why we will let you bullshit for that whole time that Frank messed up on.
We did a lot of starting early today. You know what I mean?
Little does the audience know we're going to end early too.
I'm not even into the Lochlea yet.
Anyway,
15
folks,
minutes, they'll be off.
Welcome to another crazy Cigar and Pipe Show, an early edition, of course. And we want to thank you very much. Please hit the share button. Let's get everybody to know who's on this special show tonight. And I call my co-host, not my. Oh, I better
get out of
that.
here!
Hey, but anyway, listen.
He was demoted to guest. I don't even know
but I got promoted to chicken.
Chicken.
Well, the chicken's
You're
better
the
than
chicken
that.
guest.
Anyway, my name's Ronnie Pecorini. Here's Kyle Jesso.
Hey, how you doing, everyone?
Down south, down there in Florida's my brother, retired Bob.
Welcome back, folks.
And the one, the only.
Back. Where did they go?
Welcome back, Carter. I don't know. Where'd
Hey, they've been gone for a week. What can I say?
Welcome back.
The one, the only, the Chooch master himself, the man who's messed us up and got us on early, Cousin Frank.
Thank you very much, folks. You can thank me all with a small boost. That's all I can do.
He's going to need it.
Coming up in September. So, yes. Oh, this is good. Bob,
Unfortunately, we did start early. Things happen, especially on a live show. So we do have 4 more minutes to kill here.
Right.
This is Joey.
Why are you listen, Ronnie? Why are you killing 4 minutes? Do you understand? We go right to the sponsors. So when they come in, they're on the sponsors. It's the same thing. Do you understand me?
Okay, if you say so.
I'm just telling you like it is.
I'm just telling you like it is.
Forget about it. So anyway,
Hey, forget
we got
about
another person
it. Okay,
joining in the green room.
Welcome back to the Cigar and Pipe Show.
Listen,
Let's go to the sponsors, and we'll be right back with this, folks.
Howard G Cigars is a dynamic new cigar brand grown from a love for cigar culture and a respect for the artisanship behind the craft. We are a minority-owned family business based in Orlando, Florida. Our current collection delivers 3 exclusive lines: Black Moses, Magic Stick, All Pro Series, featuring Leon Searcy's signature cigar and Ike Taylor's one-of-a-kind.
You got the one-of-a-kind rankings. They got me at 89. I'm cool with that.
We are focused on evolving as a dynamic brand and bringing you new flavor-filled blends that you'll enjoy and want to share. Visit our website at www.howardgcigars.com. You can find a full list of our retail partners there too. Thank you for making us part of your humidor.
This is Phil Morgan, General Manager of Missouri Meerschaum Corncob Pipes in Washington, Missouri. Our mission since 1869 has been to produce great smoking pipes that anyone can afford. We guarantee our pipes won't be your most expensive, but they just might be the ones you smoke the most. At Missouri Meerschaum Company, we don't just sell our corncob pipes, we grow them, make them, and smoke them. Missouri Meerschaum, Washington, Missouri, since 1869.
Loyalty, passion, courage. These are the founding principles of K by Karen Berger Cigars. The Maduro, the Habano, and the newly rated 93 by Cigar Journal Connecticut. Do yourself a favor and check out this wonderful line of cigars that come from a completely linear company from seed to your hands. Blue Smoke Atlanta is the vision of Robin Blue, founder and CEO, and represents an award-winning luxury smoking accessory line based in Atlanta and sold worldwide. Since 2019, Blue Smoke Atlanta's goal was to redefine traditional smoking accessories into a timeless collection of exquisitely handcrafted luxury products to include cigar pokers, cannabis clips, jewelry, and other awesome things. For an elevated smoking experience, visit us at www.bluesmokeatl.com.
At Mountain Smoke Premium Tobacco, we specialize solely in the finest hand-rolled, craft, and boutique cigars on the market. Mountain Smoke Premium Tobacco is sure to have something that will excite you. Shop our online humidor at www.mountainsmokewd.com.
A family of 4 generations in tobacco. It started in Odense, Denmark, 141 years ago, 1882, with a factory and a retail store by Eric Peter Stokeby. 4th Generation is a premium quality brand consisting of a selection of tin and loose tobaccos made in Denmark, pipes made of the finest quality briar, and superior accessories from leather goods, lighters, and pipe tools. The selection of 4th Generation products are available in premium pipe and cigar stores in the US and many European countries. Check out 4thGenPipeTobacco.com.
And welcome back, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
What a beginning. What a beginning.
What a-
Take your
let me
first
tell you
What
draw.
a
Yeah.
fuck up.
No,
That's
listen.
all I gotta say.
All I can tell you is Bob and I, the minute that we lit this puppy up, we knew we were into something very special. This cigar
Yes.
blew our minds right away. Let me
Yes.
tell you, Greg, we're going to get him on now. We're going to talk to him about this cigar because this cigar is special, folks. So
Yeah,
let's
it is nice.
bring him on. Let's bring on everybody.
Let,
What do you
let
think?
Joey do the
Yeah.
introduction. Go
Let's
ahead,
bring
Joey.
Greg first.
Let's bring
Want
it
to bring on
on.
Greg first? And Genevieve?
Bring them all
Bring
on.
him on.
Everybody. We'll bring everybody on.
Everybody. Why not?
Who's I hear somebody feeding back into us.
Uh-oh, Genevieve's in some big action going back in the back here. What do you got there, Genevieve? What's happening?
All right, so we have Greg Free. He's the owner of Fuerte Y Libre Cigars. Welcome, Greg.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Doing great. Good to see you.
Good to see you. We only saw you 2 months ago. I
Yeah.
missed you, buddy. How are you?
I've been great.
Last
All right.
month, actually, yes.
And like I said, we have his partner in crime there, Genevieve Harris. Welcome.
I think she's frozen.
Is she frozen?
Yeah.
All right.
I think she's frozen.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have
Greg, we need to give her a little more money so she can invest in a better Wi-Fi.
As soon as I start making money, I'm all over that.
There you go. And then we have Joshua Hatton from IMPEX Beverages. He is the national sales coordinator for IMPEX Beverages. He's going to help us run through this Lochlea expression here. Welcome.
Welcome,
Hey,
Joshua.
welcome,
How are
welcome.
you, buddy?
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm digging this cigar. It's delicious. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, normally we would prep you guys a little bit before the show, but we had a little bit of a hiccup.
We went early.
From Frank, so we started a little early. So
we can
all right.
jump right in it. Listen, Joey, why waste people's time? We can jump right in it here, Greg.
Well, in that case, why have this show?
So, Greg, the first thing me and Bob did was obviously we get the cello. We have to sniff our cigar because, that's your first impression, right? So immediately we're like, okay, this is definitely earthy,
Something different, yeah.
earthy, but saddle kind of leather. Nice worn, good saddle leather. Then we lit it up. And that's where the surprise.
That was a surprise.
It was a very big surprise. I know for me because I don't usually get this note in a cigar.
No.
But it was like an
I usually get that note when I put it in my coffee.
Right. It was like an anisette.
Anisette.
It was like a little licorice to it. And pairing that with this Scotch, oh, man. Damn. Wow. Excellent, excellent cigar.
Tell us about the cigar, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I actually haven't paired it yet. I've got I have the Fallow next to me, and I also have the Plowing Edition next to me. So I'm going to be going back and kind of see which one works the best. But I'll start with the Fallow, and then I'll tell you about the cigar.
Okay.
Ooh, that's dreamy.
Oh, isn't that good?
That is really. I put 2 drops of water in mine just to open it up a little bit, and it is.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a really good Scotch. All right. Well, anyway, so enough about the Scotch. So the cigar. It's actually the first cigar.
Josh, nothing personal. Nothing personal.
All right, enough about the cigar. Let's talk about the Scotch. Got it.
Josh, we'll get to you, buddy. We'll get to you.
He's a good man, Josh. Trust us. He's a good man.
So the Midnight Bender was the first cigar that I blended myself. It was actually the third line. The first 2 I didn't know enough about blending, didn't know exactly what to do or how the process worked. And the Midnight Bender, when I presented it to the factory owners, and the factory I'm using has never had an American brand before. Okay. So when I presented the idea over lunch, they had a sidebar in Spanish, and during that sidebar, they called me an idiot. They said I'd be out of business soon, that I didn't know what I was doing, that it was too strong, nobody would smoke it. But I understood.
So you're right at home.
But I understood. They're dealing with the Dominican market, which is inherently mild. Most of that corn tobacco is very mild. The Pelado Cubano is very mild. So I said, let's just go back to the rolling table. I'll do some bunching. I don't do very good at rolling, so I'll do the bunching. You guys can put the wrapper on. And we came up with a couple of them. I did a couple different variations on the Ligero versus the filler. I really wanted to use a Dominican binder. It's very hard to find a Dominican binder that burns hot enough under San Andres to keep it going. So that took a little bit of trial and error. But also it became our #1 seller. It was released just in a Toro. And then 2021, we released it in Bordeaux as well. So it's been a growing part of our line. I'm actually trying to create a Lancero in this blend.
Nice.
I'm a little bit of a struggle with it because of the burnability. And trying to keep the flavor similar, but it's got really good flavor. So I've got some aging for a while now to see if just giving it some time will give it a little bit better burnability. As a new brand, that's the last thing you want is any construction issues. So the name Midnight Bender, actually the longest week of my life was one night I spent in Vegas with Joe. And so just named it after him.
Joe, you were there?
Joe, you in Vegas?
Hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and then you go ahead and put it on a cigar for the world to see. What the fuck, Greg? I thought we were boys.
Well, it was initially called the Midnight Bendover, but I had to change it to make it a little bit classier.
Well, Joe, the secret's out there. Joe likes to play with his chicken.
Yeah,
what can I tell you?
now I'm just a bending chicken. I've been reduced to a bending chicken.
Yeah, so I was trying to get to a true full cigar, but when I got to this level, it just really settled in. The blend kind of spoke to me, so we really settled in on this, which is not true full in my opinion. There's no harshness to it. It's got a retro that there's no burn or anything. It's just really smooth. It's just got a lot of flavor, and it's really got a lot of that Dominican influence, even though that San Andres wrapper is kind of carrying the show.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Very, very good cigar.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, so
Very
this
nice.
is actually Greg has actually allowed me the opportunity to try a few of his cigars, and this is actually my favorite expression from Fuerte Y Libre. I actually did an article on it for Leaf and Grain Society and rated it at 96 points.
Whoa.
So the flavor is bold. It's a medium to bolder cigar, so you're getting a full on smoking experience with this cigar. What I do in the magazine is I will give a little bit on the visual pre-light draw before I get into the first, second, and final third, and then the pairing. So on this cigar, it's very toothy, veiny, and it's oily medium brown Maduro wrapper. Has a nice bold green grassy hay note on the side sniff, and it has creamy dark cocoa notes on the dry foot odor. And from my understanding, the bowl symbolizes strength and freedom, standing alone in the field. And all your cigars are named after famous rodeo bulls, not Joey G.
And that's no bull.
So there is no spice when prepping the head for. And this was my very first time. Genevieve, can you hear us? Are you there? Are you with us?
She's coming.
We got you.
Say something, sweetheart.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
There you go.
There you go, girl. How are you?
All right, so this was my first time using this Select Draw, which is a newer product. It's a cigar. It's a 3-pronged cigar punch. So what you do is you just punch your cigar as much as you like to personalize your preferred type of draw on the cigar. And in my opinion, it's excellent in terms of what it's doing is it's bringing all the cigar's flavor, since you're leaving the cap on and you're just punching here and here, maybe on the sides too, on the body. It's bringing all those cigar flavors to the head before delivering it smoothly to your palate. So it is, in my opinion, it's a kick-ass tool. I'll let Genevieve get into it a little bit more. Genevieve, you can hear us now, correct?
Yes, I can.
All right. Do you want? How did you hook up with Greg? And can you tell us about the Select Draw?
Well, I was working at Willie's Cigar Lounge. Are y'all getting feedback on your end?
Yeah, we're getting some feedback on your end.
It's not bad.
Okay. Well, I met Greg a few years ago back at Willie's Cigar Lounge. Let me try this.
Feedback is good.
Yeah.
How was that? Is that better?
Much better. Yeah.
That's better.
Yep.
Okay, so I met Greg at Willie's Cigar Lounge, and he was trying to get the cigar in the lounge. I tried the cigars. I really loved it. And then probably about a few months later to a year ago, I saw him at I Am Now North Suffolk Cigar Lounge, and he had got his cigar in here. And I was very happy. And he has an amazing cigar, so I've been backing him up ever since then.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
And can you tell us more about the Select Draw?
Yes. So I'm trying to get this so it's not too bad of a feedback.
I think we found the feedback. It's coming from Greg a little bit, so I got him muted here for a little bit, but you can go ahead and talk, Genevieve.
Okay, perfect. So Select Draw, I met Mark a few years back with Select Draw cigar cutters. Probably 2019, I was first introduced to Select Draw. It's an amazing tool that opens up your cigar. It enhances your cigar experience. I have a couple of tools here that'll help me. So a lot of people didn't want to get rid of their V cut or their punch or their straight cut. Select Draw is a way to enhance that, not take away. So you can do your regular V cut, if you can see that.
Gotcha. Yep.
And then you can go on the side and add more.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
nice.
To the side,
Like that. Yep.
and it opens it up to the rest of your mouth, and it gives you all those flavors that you might not have gotten before. So you can do
Perfect.
You can do punch, and you can just do Select Draw by itself, and it's as if you just cut it regularly. You have all the smoke, you get all the flavor with Select Draw by itself as well.
Nice.
All right, Joshua, give us a rundown on your whiskey journey and what led you to IMPEX.
Well, first I got to say, V cut on this, the draw is awesome. This is just, it's 73 degrees here in Connecticut. Perfect night, breezy.
Wow.
It's just the perfect stick for tonight. So thanks again for sending this along. Yeah, my journey in whiskey started around the same time my wife was pregnant with her first child. There's no coincidence or correlation, I'm sure.
It's not a Columbus Day baby, is it?
It was actually at our synagogue. So after Friday night services, we all go into the social hall and drink. And there was a congregant there who just had a bunch of different whiskeys, and I was just getting into drinking. This was 2004-ish or so. And And I said, "What do you have there?" I said, "Some whiskeys." I said, "What do you suggest?" He said, "Do you like sweet? Do you like spicy? Do you like smoky?" And I said, "Stop there. I didn't even know a drink could be smoky. That doesn't make sense, so I need to try it." And so he poured me like a little nip of Lagavulin 16, and I was being transported back to camping with my dad as a kid, right? All that smoke and like that campfire, like all those things. Like it was beyond just like a thing to make you feel good. It just brought me back in time, which I thought was awesome. And for me, when I get into something, I go down a rabbit hole pretty hard. and you know, I used to be in sales and marketing for a manufacturer here in Connecticut, and I just followed my passion with whiskey and turned it into starting my own independent bottling company called Single Cask Nation. And then I joined the import company who brings in my company, and that importer is IMPEX Beverages. I'm the national sales director, and so we bring in Lochlea and a host of other brands from Scotland, Wales, Israel, Japan, and all around.
Nice.
Wow.
Very nice.
Wow, nice beginning.
Wow.
Not bad at
So,
all.
yeah, I've had some Single Cask Nation expressions in there. Yeah, they're excellent. So thank you.
Beautiful.
All right. So getting into the first third of the cigar, and like I said, this was my first time using the Select Draw. Thank you, Genevieve, for that, because it is a kick-ass tool that I highly recommend. And it's gonna be all over, up and down this article coming out. So on the first third.
Hey, Joe, by the way,
yeah.
I know that you and Genevieve have like this thing going. So,
oh, Genevieve is my girl. Yes. Oh, Genevieve is my queen. She is the draw queen. She is my queen. So
yeah, but what are you to her?
Yeah,
the chicken.
Yeah, I'm just the chicken. I'm the chicken bender.
Chicken Joe.
Chicken Joe.
Nice one, Frank.
All right, well, back to the show now.
Well, I wanted to show that there was a personal relationship happening there.
Yeah.
Genevieve, I'm so sorry.
Hey, if you can't see this, Joey's turning 20 shades of tomato right now.
Well,
don't adjust your cameras, folks.
I am the chicken bender, so it happens. So, getting into the first third of this cigar, I immediately get like a unique, like charred, like graham cracker note, and like I said, I reviewed this cigar a couple weeks back for a different magazine, and that predominant graham cracker note was there again. So that was pretty cool. And like I said, the Select Draw is bringing all the cigar's flavors right to the cap or the head of the cigar before delivering it smoothly to your palate. So that definitely is enhancing the flavor of the cigar. So I have here in my notes, like I said, the Select Draw, you can personalize the level of draw, right, Genevieve? If you've punched it a few times and you're not getting the draw that you prefer, you just punch it a couple more times so you get to your preferred level of draw.
That was the old Chicago way of doing police work. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Draw as many times as you like. So then the cigar transitions to like a churned buttery chocolate note still in the first third. So already
definitely get the chocolate note.
Already in the first third, you're getting nice transitions. And that the retro hail is just fantastic.
Incredible retro cigar.
Yeah.
It really delivers all of that flavor. And like you said, Joe, it gives you some hints of graham cracker. That cocoa is predominant. And again, for me, the initial line, it was anise, that licoricey kind of feel. And with this whiskey, let me tell you, this whiskey, when the first thing, just the nose on it, I was wow, I get some like, I got little Granny Smith apples and fried apricot, like a nice apricot on it. So that just mixed perfectly with the cigar. So kudos to Joe again with pairing two great things and making each that much better.
Absolutely.
So
now are you talking about the chicken in the bender, or are you talking about the whiskey and the cigar?
I'm talking about Joe's selection, not Joe personally.
But you can tell on the retro hail that the select draw is actually smoothing out and delivering the retro hail to an enhanced level.
Like on my first third here, especially on the retro, it's almost like fresh baked brownies. It's like that toasted chocolate is. You're getting like that nice like cooked brownie, like fresh out of the oven.
I want to hear Greg. So, Greg, you heard all the experts here. Where are they so far on this palate tasting?
Now that you've been doing your own tasting, tell us what your experience is.
It's interesting because everyone has their own perspective on flavor. It's kind of how you grew up and what you remember because aroma is your strongest memory. So if you eat a lot of fresh baked brownies, you're going to pull that out. And obviously, I do taste chocolate notes, but for instance, not with the Midnight Bender, but some of my other cigars, when I taste nuttiness, my nuttiness that I taste is roasted hazelnut. I have to eat a lot of roasted hazelnut. So whatever you have experience with is what you're going to pull out of it. So a lot of my cigar flavor notes, like on my brochures and my literature, it's a combination of multiple people's experience. So for me to hear a few people on a show giving me different ideas of what they're tasting, it makes perfect sense because you're pulling from your own aromatic memories. So what you're saying is what I'm going for, which is kind of that baking combined field.
Yes.
And I mean, I grew up on a farm. My dad was a horse trader. I've been around saddles my whole life. So when someone says it tastes like saddle leather or it smells like saddle leather, I know exactly what that smells like. And it's not fresh leather. It's like a tack room.
Right.
And that's what I get from.
You get that leatheriness, especially on the retro hail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing that I enjoy about it is that retro hail is not harsh. It's just a nice, flavorful retro.
There's no burn on the retro at all. No burn whatsoever. It's so smooth. It really is.
I also got like notes of black cherry in there. I don't know if anybody else got that. I got little black cherry in
that's
that.
with that.
As soon as I'm getting it from the whiskey.
Yeah, I pick it up out of the whiskey, but not out of the cigar.
Yeah, maybe it's the combination. As soon as I drink the
Could
whiskey
be like
and
a
smoke
black forest cake.
Could be something like that. Definitely the chocolate's there, and the anisette I got right away. But I got a little bit of black cherry. Interesting.
It goes really well. I mean, and there was a mention of Lagavulin 16. That's probably my favorite Scotch in terms of value. It's just a great value. It's got that. It's like drinking a campfire. His description was perfect. But these are not Isla Scotches, but they both got a peatiness to them that really pairs well with the cigar. And if you look at my pairing notes in any of my literature, I talk about pairing this with Scotch. It really stands up well to a peaty Scotch. And so this is a great pairing, whoever put it together.
Yeah, I can see that. And speaking of peated Scotch, I have to let everybody in the audience know about Genevieve's morning Instagrams, where she'll be sitting there at like 7 a.m, sipping peated Scotch, smoking a cigar, and I'm just like, man, she's definitely trying to get wifed up. That is my kind of woman. Yep.
Look out, Genevieve.
I call dibs.
There we go. We have an engagement here, and we definitely feel a closeness going on.
Genevieve, what's your Instagram? It's the Draw Queen, right? Something.
The Draw Queen. Yes. It's the Draw Queen SD Select Draw Cigar Cutter.
Okay, yeah, you definitely want to jump on these lives in the morning with Genevieve. They're pretty stellar.
Yeah, for those that are jumping on a little bit later, because we started way early, we are smoking the Fuerte Y Libre Midnight Bender, and we're pairing it with the Lochlea Scotch here. The
Put that up.
I'm not drunk enough.
Lochlea.
I think it's Joshua. I don't know. Maybe you want to help us. Is it Lochlea?
No, it's just Lochlea.
Lochlea.
Yeah, which is actually the name of the
so I said
their
it
water
right from the
source.
beginning.
I guess you were correct.
Huh.
I guess you were correct.
Look at that. This Chooch knows something.
I've heard it go both ways. And then again, I am the chicken bender. So,
So, Greg, we have people who want to know, how do you come up with the names of your cigars? Are they horse names that they were asking for, or how do you come up with the names?
Oh, wow. Actually, it involves whiskey. When we finally settle on a blend, so we're at the factory and we finally fine-tuned it, we've got it where we want it to be, and we're like, we're going to release this. We go to a cigar lounge in Santiago in the Dominican Republic, and we proceed to drink very heavily. And, and whoever the newest person is on the trip opens up their phone to the top 500 PBR rodeo bulls, and they call out the names of the bulls that they feel matches the cigar they're smoking.
Oh, very cool.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So that person, then they get to be personally involved. And these are all people who are involved with the company in some way. I don't have any employees, but they've helped me with tasting or testing or whatever. So it's their first trip. They get to call out the names. They usually narrow it down to 50 or 70 bull names. I'm typing them into a notes field because there's no way I'll remember them because we drinking heavily. And then the next day, I send that list in a text group to everyone that's on the trip. And then the next night, we go out again and we proceed to drink heavily. And we all at the same time send our top 5 to each other. And if there's a standout, that's what it's named after. If there's 2 that are very close or that are tied, then we'll have a discussion about which one should be chosen over the other.
Well, you just make another cigar. So you have two cigars.
So do you have a Fu Manchu yet?
No, not yet. It hasn't been called out. I mean, there's a lot of great bulls that have been called out but didn't make it in the final 5. So
okay,
like chicken bender.
Yeah, like chicken bender.
That one didn't make the cut. That one did not make the cut.
Kelly, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
So, Greg, we got.
This whole show is bullshit.
Oh no, it's Joey shit tonight. So, Bob and I and Kyle and Frank, we met you over at the PCA, and you were part of the BCA Pavilion, and it looked like you had some action. How did everything go for you over there? Were you are you satisfied? Are you happy with the whole program? And were you able to move a lot of the cigars and get people acquainted with your line?
So I was very happy with it. I was told going in that at your first PCA you won't make enough money to cover the cost of the event, and I actually, including travel and everything, I sold more in total gross sales than what it cost.
Wow,
wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah, and I came very close to.
That's awesome.
I came very close to having the gross profit meet the cost. So for me, it exceeded expectations. I think it's a lot about being in the government contracting industry. I was in recruiting for a long time, did a lot of events where you're trying to hire people. So I understand how trade shows operate. You've got to be active. You've got to be active before the show. You've got to be talking to your current shops. You've got to tell them that you're going to be there to come see you. You've also got to be advertising that you're going to be there to draw new people. And then you just can't be shy. You've got to be the person that's in the aisle drawing people in, calling out.
For sure.
Well, you certainly did that.
Yeah.
You certainly did that. You were on the corner and you was on the other side bringing people to your booth.
Yeah.
And you did exactly what a vendor should do. Be active and just bring people over, because, if you just stand still at a trade show, a lot of people will walk by, but you made contact. You definitely have what it takes to do a trade show. Like you say, you've done so many, so you knew how to entertain and get your people to you. And obviously, you brought enough in there to pay for yourself. So that's big. A lot of people don't do that. Honestly, they don't get that chance of bringing those kind of numbers. So you definitely did something good there.
Yeah, and I would say to our audience, after we're done with tonight's show, go back to our show that we did from the PCA. We had great interview with Greg, and you can learn a lot more about his company there, because we had a good interview with him there, and had the pleasure of finally meeting him at the trade show. So
And
it
how
was really
could
good.
Greg, tell them how people can get your cigars. What's your website and information?
So if you go to fylcigars.com, look, and it's on the screen, coincidentally.
Oh boy, did Frank read our mind?
Yeah, you can go to the.
Frank doesn't mess around unless it's the starting time.
Well, he's trying to make himself look good.
Yeah, so you can go to the retailer section. There's a couple retailers that are designated as we will ship, and then, and quite honestly, most shops will ship. So if there's not one near you, just call a shop that's close. Tell them what you're looking for, and they'll get your cigars to you. The shop that Evie's in right now, North Suffolk Cigars, they'll ship to anybody. Tobacology is my shop here. There's a shop in Fort Worth called Underground that carries the line. So you'll be able to find them pretty much anywhere.
Now, Greg, a question for you is, because I didn't get a chance to see your interview. So what made you look at cigars as a business opportunity? And you said you worked in like a government related, you might be, CIA or something.
He can't tell you. He'll have to kill you if he tells you, Frank.
But so what was that transition like for you, and why cigars?
Just a passion for cigars. This is a passion project. You can't get in this business hoping to make $1 million. I mean, they say if you want to have $1 million at the end of the year or at the end of 5 years in this business, you better start with $2 million. There's another meme that says you need to start as a billionaire, but it's it was a passion project. They say 5 years is the mark where you start making money. I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. I've had some legal issues. Some legal issues I've been fighting through that have slowed me down. COVID slowed me down, but still we're at the 4.25 year mark of having cigars in the country. And I really think that August is the first month of profitability for us. So that'll be nice. We've invested a lot of money into the company to get us to where we are. And this is really going to play out to be our year. Between the BCA Pavilion and PCA moving to an earlier start next year, we'll be there again in the BCA Pavilion. And I think that's really going to kick us off to a great place.
Are you going to go down to Miami to do the BCA festival down there also? Will you be there?
Yes, although they're limiting the number of spaces, so I just have to make sure I get the email before anybody else does to say.
Well, just keep bothering and pestering them, because it sounds like you have a fantastic product.
Yeah, I just want to show everybody the construction on the cigar here. Look at the nice burn.
All right, nice I'll show there. Joe. Is that my cue?
There it is.
Very nice, beautiful.
And I'm going to go to Joshua here. You started drinking whiskey because your wife was pregnant.
You've established that.
No correlation. No correlation.
and now you're on a midnight bender. So how are you enjoying the cigar?
I was skeptical because I don't mix cigars in whiskey. I always think that, because I'm a whiskey guy first, cigar guy second. So
Sure.
I always think if I'm going to spend $50, $100, whatever it is on a bottle, that if the cigar ruins my experience, then I'm ruining a bit of my whiskey.
Yeah.
But I'm told you're a pro, Joe. And I'm not going to lie, this is excellent. I really liked, I don't know who had the note before, but someone at first had mentioned apples and like apricots at 1st, and then on the flavor, this sort of like dark cherry or sour cherry note going on, and that's not a flavor I get in Lochlea Fallow. But when I combine the cigar with the whiskey,
it comes out. Yeah.
There it is.
It's real nice. It's a really good pairing.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah, and it's super smooth. If somebody wants a great Scotch that has this beautiful, it's so. I'll tell you, it has great mouthfeel.
Yeah.
And it's lush. It's very luscious. Would be my. It just coats my palate beautifully, and you don't.
The salivation that I'm getting.
Oh my God, big time.
It's I really haven't drank a whole lot of the whiskey because my mouth just salivates.
So we'll get a little bit more into the whiskey in a little bit. First, I'm going to run through the second third of this amazing cigar. This is easily one of my top 3 cigars now. Easily,
yeah, this is a good cigar, man.
Yeah. So in that second third, I get some roasted pistachio notes that arrive on the palate. And that creamy charred graham cracker note just continues to dominate the experience. You guys get that graham cracker note on this cigar?
I don't.
Because
I'm not tasting the graham cracker.
Ritz crackers.
Bob doesn't.
Ritz crackers.
Joey, graham crackers right on the money.
Okay, and then another nice transition to like leathery vanilla. In at some point in the second third, that lengthy ash will fall off. So before we get into whiskey, I don't know if you guys want to do sponsorship or do you want to get into the whiskey?
Yeah, we can throw a sponsor on there.
Why not? Yeah, folks, hit the share button, get everybody you know to watch this show, and we're going to go to our next station break. Frank, take it away.
This industry is steeped in family and tradition. You know, there's generational stuff, and I see it over and over, and yet I didn't come from that. Being the outsider looking in, I got to ask all the silly questions, and people were very accepting to want to give me all the right answers. I'm very thankful for those people who kind of allowed me to come in. Now with Alec and Bradley in the business, to have our company become generational, that's pretty cool.
Welcome to GTO Dominican Cigars, a boutique cigar company that artfully blends and creates some of the finest handmade puros from the Cibao Valley in the Dominican Republic. We are 4th generation manufacturers and growers of tobacco with over 140 years of experience, offering a variety of styles, blends, and strengths. Mild, medium plus, and full-bodied. We would truly consider it an honor for you to experience our cigars. Those who know smoke GTO.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
Years in the making, the Chief cigar was born, blended, boxed, and released to market on June 26, 2015. This cigar was developed by former fire chief, firefighter, cigar aficionado Ken Dorbecker, and has grown into a signature firehouse cigar line. Including, of course, the Chief, a Nicaraguan Habano blend, Proby, a Connecticut Shade blend, All Hands, a Maduro Mexican San Andreas box press, and the brand new Fire Pole, a beautifully crafted San Andreas Habano barber pole. Join the Chief family and make us part of your humidor. R&A Treasures, out of Tampa Bay, Florida. The last of a legacy. The last of an inventory of Thomas Cristiano in a warehouse where everything is aged and well kept for all your pipe and smoking needs.
All right, and we're back.
Folks,
I gotta give some shit to Kathy because she put a little comment on here and she says Greg is luscious.
That's okay.
Hey, Kathy, what am I, a fucking mirage?
This is true. And thank God her husband's watching. The heart right back to you, Kathy. Genevieve, you still got the chicken, though. Trust me, you still got the chicken.
So, Genevieve, what do you think of the whiskey?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Like you guys were saying, it pairs excellent with the cigar. It pairs excellent.
Good.
You know, actually getting into the second third of the cigar, I'm picking up more of like that marshmallowy like hints
It's creamier
in there,
Yep.
a little more creamier. That like
creamy vanilla,
toasted marshmallow. Yeah.
Definitely. All right, Joshua, let's get into this whiskey a little bit. You want to give us the rundown on this Fallow edition of Lochlea?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's a limited edition for the distillery. The distillery is kind of new. I'll talk about the history in a second, but specifically on this whiskey, so it's non-peated. There's no smokiness to it at all. So the cigar is doing all the heavy lifting there. But their spirit style is that sort of bright, robust, fruity style, and they mature exclusively in Oloroso sherry butts. So these casks that are almost 3 times the size of a bourbon barrel, right? So pretty big, and that's when you get like this beautiful, luscious color on the whiskey right there.
It's a beautiful
all of that's
coloring.
coming from the wood.
Beautiful coloring.
That's what drew me to the bottles. I pulled, I always pull it out of the box and I look at the color up into the light, and as a Scotch lover, that color is beautiful.
Yeah,
it is. It's a beautiful.
It's a dark
like
caramel.
dark caramel. Yeah.
And it's all natural too. There's no caramel coloring added to it. That's all straight from the wood. And
wow,
believe it or not, this whiskey's only about 4 years old.
Really?
Which is mind blowing.
I would have put that at a higher age for that coloring.
That is mind blowing.
10 year.
8 to 10 for sure.
Yeah.
It's right at that money spot of 46% ABV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that gets back to what you were saying about that mouthfeel, that sort of that luscious quality that apparently you have as well. Yep. And that's that at 46%, they don't have to do this. There's this process called chill filtration. If you've ever, put whiskey in a glass and dropped a couple ice cubes in and the whiskey clouds up,
right?
That's just science. That's just, the liquid getting cold and the fatty acids just sort of congealing a bit or flocculating.
Yeah.
And that's natural.
Honey flocculates a lot too.
Gosh, you're speaking my language. You're talking my language just now.
we have a question from Christopher, and wants to know, where in Scotland is the distillery from?
Right. So it's about 35, 40 minutes south of Glasgow. So it's technically in the lowlands region of Scotland. And usually when people think of the lowlands, they think of very light, very soft, very delicate whiskeys. And they're just a distillery that happens to be located in the lowlands. They're not making a lowland style. They're just making whiskey that they think tastes great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I'm gonna dump this ash because it's making me nervous now.
Teresa's gonna kill you if you burn the rug.
Is this whiskey available here in the Florida area? Because I've never seen the bottle before.
It is.
Yeah,
really.
It is. It should be carried at some of the Primo stores if you're familiar with Primos.
No, we don't have Total Wine.
Total Wine or ABCs?
Total Wine for sure.
Total Wine has it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
If not the Fallow, they're going to have one of the other expressions.
Okay.
Like our barley or the sowing or the plowing edition.
So we got a question by Brian Singer. Brian, he wants to know, where can he find this, and where can he get some of them? Brian, I don't know where you're located, but is there a website or something that they can look out for distributors, Josh? Do you have any ways of people?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so if people go to impexbev.com, IMPEX, like import export, bev.com, and there should be some navigation, and you'll find a link that goes to distributors. And we're in about 47, 48 states in the union, so we've got wide distribution.
Hey, I know somebody else that was an importer exporter.
So I had already previously done some tasting notes on the whiskey. So on the nose, there are intense, big, dusty, old library leather over dark fruit notes, which are very reminiscent of that well-aged Campbellton funk, which is very cool for like a lowland whiskey. But it is young. It's only 4 years old, as Joshua mentioned. And on the palate, it has a nice thick viscosity, mellow spice with fresh, cold deli meats over a nice, rich and ripe dark fruitiness.
Deli meats.
Then there is
Deli meats.
Yes. Then
Joey was having super Prasad.
Yeah.
I had the chicken bender right before.
He was down he was at Sal's Deli picking up a hoagie.
He was getting some prosciutto.
So then there is like a lingering and savory vanilla dusted leather over banana bread on the finish. Joshua, what are you getting on the whiskey?
Yeah, no, I love your notes. So for me, it's vanilla ice cream and figs and Bing cherries, and on the nose, it's got just this sort of bright fruitiness going on that I really like, with just maybe a bit of coconut, like a toasted coconut thing going on. But that kind of nuttiness, that slight sort of like date and nutty thing going on, that's all from the Oloroso sherry cask.
Dates,
dates
definitely.
for sure. 100% on the nose. You can get dates 100%.
Genevieve, what are you getting on the whiskey?
Drunk.
So
She's going to ask, will you marry me by Chicken Joe?
Wait a minute, Genevieve.
Yeah,
she
here
put on
comes
her, hold on. Genevieve, she put on. Did she put on her? Oh, you didn't put your queen top on. It's the other one's a little bit of a better shot of you with Joe.
Are you going to go back to it?
There's my future baby mama.
Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that?
Are you ready? Are you ready for that, Joe?
I've been ready for this my whole life, Genevieve. Yes.
He's got a good police officer's pension. So you can
there you go.
And he carries his stick wherever he goes.
Oh.
So Genevieve, what are you getting on the whiskey?
Oh no.
We'll give you 5 minutes, Genevieve. Hold on.
She's gone Twitter-pated.
So it was weird because at first I didn't get the notes that you guys were saying, but somebody said apples, and I swear when I took a sip of the whiskey and I took a pull of the cigar and I got apples. I was like, whoa, okay, because I didn't get it at first. I didn't. So
you just needed my assistance.
I do get a little bit of nutty flavors, and then somebody said cherries. I got that. I got the cherry.
Yep.
Nice. And Joshua, did you want to give us a little history on the distillery?
Yeah. So they're fairly new. Like I said, the whiskey is just 4 years old. So the distillery was built they started building it in 2016, and first distillation started running in 2018.
Wow.
The distillery itself is actually located on a farm. All of the whiskey is made from the barley that they grow on their farms, which is really unusual for Scotland. Kilhoman does some of their own production from their barley. But
maybe like Springbank too, right?
No, Springbank uses barley from local farms, but it's not their own farm.
Okay.
So this is Lochlea's farm, and actually the farm and distillery sits on property that Robbie Burns used to live on. He's easily the most famous Scots person in the world. We all sing one of his poems on New Year's Eve, right? Auld Lang Syne.
I think there's like an actual like Robert Burns Day, right? For drinking
exactly.
Scotch. Yeah,
exactly. And so they started distilling in 2018, and then around 2021 or so, John Campbell, who was at Lefroy Distillery for about 28 years, left Lefroy. He was their distillery manager. He was in charge of what their liquid tastes like. He left Lefroy and joined Lochlea. So the guy who'd been making Lefroy for 28 years is now making Lochlea whiskey.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's really special stuff.
That it usually brings from Lefroy.
Yeah.
So
just
the name,
all that minus the smokiness.
The name Lochlea. I'm assuming it's near some kind of lake. in Scotland since
Yeah,
it's Loch?
so Lochlea that's the name of the loch or lake that they pull their water from. So all of their water comes from that local lake.
What's the other distillery? It's Loch something. I forget the name of it.
Oh, there's Loch Lomond.
Loch Lomond. Yeah,
Leicester.
yeah, that's another good distillery too to keep your
Nessie?
eye on. As
Oh yeah,
well.
for sure.
And then they got Nessie, Loch Nessie.
Loch Ness. Yeah.
Yep.
So in regards to this whiskey, right on the bottle, quoted, it says, "Autumn on the farm is when our fields are given time to recover after harvest, and the crisp gold and purple leaves cover the ground. Therefore, we developed a dark, rich whiskey to warm us up as temperatures start to fall." And that actually, for me, that describes this whiskey perfectly.
Sounds like a beautiful scenery. I'd
Yeah,
love
it
to
does.
see it.
Yeah, so they actually produce 4 seasonal whiskeys. So this is fallow. They also have harvest, plowing, and sowing. So you can imagine sowing the seed, plowing it, harvesting it, and then the fallow season, right? So it just takes you through, and it's their way of showing you the evolution, right? There's going to be, this is fallow batch 1, right? Fallow batch 2 is going to be coming out, and you could just taste. It's kind of cool. We mentioned Lagavulin before. 200 years ago, no one was following their history because no one gave a shit. Nowadays, people give a shit, and you have that opportunity to follow a distillery's evolution, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
awesome.
experience of a cigar now, you mentioned earlier you never did it, but has this changed your approach of experimenting and tasting your whiskey with a cigar now? Is that something that you can continue on going on and doing it?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I've never done it. I think I've just never done it successfully. And now this is my first success. So I think I just need to reach out to Joe anytime I've got a question.
Welcome to the Chicken Bender podcast.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, let's talk about some of the other cigars you've got going on. And do you have anything new that's that we can kind of look out for?
Yeah, so we've got a cigar that's been in the aging room for about 6 months now, and it was. I was in the middle of a trademark lawsuit, and in fact, I'll mention we're going to be changing the company name to Fortaleza Y Libre. So we'll still have FYL cigars. We had a little bit of a trademark issue. I fought it for 8 months and finally gave that up in May, or settled it in May with the company that I was up against. So we're going to be changing the name. So in the meantime, we had a full strength blend that was going to be released. It's in the aging room. Now we've got the new company name. Our band company that we're using is about 4 months behind on creating bands, so it could be a fall or an early winter release at this point. I still don't have the final artwork for those bands, but it's going to be called Intimidator. It's another famous rodeo bull. It'll have a red, white, and blue band. I'm hoping it comes out for Veterans Day. Maybe that would be a nice time to
that'll be nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that cigar has got a lot of first-generation Cuban seed that was grown in the Cibao Valley on our farm. So it's going to be mostly Cuban-esque. It's going to have Cuban Lajero with some Nicaraguan Lajero added, a lot of Cuban filler, Dominican binder, and a Mexican San Andres wrapper. So it'll be a true full. Really looking forward to that. That'll come out in a Toro and also a Corona. The blend works really well on a Corona. And then we have an event exclusive stick that's going to be a Lonsdale that's going to be coming out shortly after that. So as soon as we get those bands done, that'll be released. It'll be available at shops that do events. So it won't be one of those things where you can only get it at an event, but you can only get it at shops that have hosted events before. And before I leave this moment of the show, I do want to ask about the whiskeys, because I'm drinking 2 of them. I'm drinking the Plowing and the Fallow. Completely unique. But is it the same mash bill that goes in all of them, and it's just how it's aged or the barrels it goes in?
Yeah, that's it. It's just water, yeast, and barley. They're not changing any of the processes. It's just whatever casks they use to make that final product. If you think about it, when it comes to whiskey, about 70% of your flavor comes from the cask itself. So using good wood and using different varieties of wood and things that seasons that wood ahead of, before putting the Scotch distillate into it will affect what that final product is like.
And getting into the... Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead.
I was going to say...
Have you used any American casks at all?
All the time. So that's a staple with Scotch whiskey because, just really quickly, and to make bourbon, we have to use a new charred American oak cask, and we can't use that cask again to create something called bourbon. So we send all of our casks. We don't send them over. We sell our casks, our empty casks, to Scotland to mature their whiskey. And at any given time, you've got about 25 million casks of whiskey sloshing around in Scotland. 95% of them are ex-bourbon barrels.
Wow.
So yes, a lot of American oak.
You have one distillery that bourbon that you're getting most of the stuff from?
So yeah, they're for them, they're using a variety. They're using some Buffalo Trace. They'll be using some Heaven Hill. Some distilleries will try to stick with a single bourbon producer, so they have sort of a consistency of flavor. But a lot of distilleries buy from cooperages that just sort of rebuild the casks that they purchase from the
in those used barrels before they're shipped off to Scotland. I'm assuming they're broken down and put on pallets and shipped off and then rebuilt in Scotland.
For the most part, but a lot of small distilleries like Lochlea, who will have relationships directly with bourbon producers, they'll ship the casks over whole, still with some liquid inside, just so that it's nice, fresh, wet casks.
Okay,
That's pretty awesome.
All right, so getting into the final third before we get into the pairing, in the final third of this cigar, now there is some creamy chocolate on top of those graham cracker notes. I also get a little bit of those coffee or hazelnut notes that Greg was talking about earlier, and then comes some creamy pistachios, and that perfectly charred graham cracker note just continues to dominate and coats the entire palate perfectly. So when it comes time to pairing, again, initially I'll do the cigar to the drink, and then I'll switch it up and I'll do the drink to the cigar. So when we do the cigar to the whiskey, for me, I get those charred graham cracker notes get washed down, and a creamy citrusy vanilla wine flavor develops with juicy and deep purple grape notes that arrive mid-palate. Then some dark charred fig notes linger on the finish. Then we cleanse the palate with some water, and we go to the whiskey, then to the cigar. Then we get juicy red wine notes are turned candy-like by the cigar's bold flavor. This is a unique pairing, producing some very unique charred vanilla flavors that wouldn't exist without both products marrying together. Your thoughts on the pairing, guys?
I think you hit the nail on the head, Joe. I think that's exactly what's happening. Your palate, Joe, has really developed. I want to give you kudos.
Well, I am the monkey bender, so
monkey bender,
or the chicken bender. I'm sorry.
Oh.
No, I've been demoted now to the monkey bender. So
now he's a chimp.
Well, I can tell you this. I just did a little experiment of my own, and I did my poor man smoker on the whiskey, where I take a puff of the cigar and I actually exhale the smoke into the glass and let that sit. And when I did that, and then I took a sip of the Scotch again, I got, like what you said, I got more of that charred vanilla on the tip of my tongue. So it really brought out some different notes that I wasn't getting right away, and then I'm getting more of that, the little more of the smokiness to it.
Yeah.
So.
Genevieve, remember this trick here?
I remember.
All right. Genevieve, what are you getting on the pairing?
So I love chocolate, and I got the it's a company that I have. It's dark chocolate covered almonds. So I get the dark chocolate almond, and then I get like the dark chocolate cherry.
Ooh. Hey Genevieve, I like dark chocolate too.
We're gonna see a matrimony here live on the Great Cigar Pipe
Show. Jesus, Joe, just ask her to marry her, will you? Come on, long distance love affair. Oh, yeah,
I'm letting it build up. So.
Let him down easy, Jen. Let him down easy.
I don't know. I think he might be locked in forever.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
There it is.
That was an exclusive. Hold on. Say that again. Exclusive. Let's get it going.
I don't even know where it's
He doesn't
at.
even know the exclusive.
Oh, there it is.
The button is exclusive.
A marriage proposal.
So overall, this is a very sexy, seductive, and dessert-like pairing. I imagine this bliss cigar smoking and whiskey sipping experience is what happens when the draw queen, Genevieve Harris, gets her grips on her king. And I'm all in, baby. I'm all in. I'm all in.
Well, it is an excellent pairing, Joe. You've done really well. Greg, you got a fantastic smoke here, no question about it. Really, it's great. I mean, obviously, you listen to everybody speaking very highly of your smoke, and we can't wait for the next batch to come out. Josh, I mean, I'm so glad you came on board here to give us the experience of Lochlea, and we're really happy about that. And it looks like it's pairing well, and everybody has.
It really is an amazing whiskey, amazing new whiskey distillery.
It's amazing Scotch.
Just like I said, I came across this on the bottom shelf at Binny's. Never seen it before. I'm always open to experiencing a new whiskey, even these world whiskeys from different countries that you never really hear about, like India or like Dutch whiskeys, stuff like that, Japanese, Irishes. You got to get into them all if you really want to develop your palate. Correct, Joshua?
Yeah, agreed. Yep. It's a flavor journey.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, hold on, because we're going to go to our last segment, and this is always the fun part when everybody's listening to it. And we got a lot to give away tonight. Joey, why don't you tell us the prizes for tonight's giveaway? And we have the bottle right
Main
here,
giveaway
just to let
is-
you know.
Oh,
Nice.
And you can see that is sealed. That is sealed. Not
for
open.
now.
By the time you get it, you get the empty bottle that Joey's drinking.
You get the bottle. That's all.
Get a Fuerte Libre sipping glass.
Oh,
Nice.
And that's going to be a collector's item because the name is changing.
And some Fuerte Libre swags. Get a
little coaster,
like a little coaster.
And it's a sticker.
Cutter and a lighter. Fuerte Libre.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Look at that.
Yeah, and for all those wondering why I'm wearing this Delilah's t-shirt, Delilah's is
nobody was wondering, but
probably my well, it is. So Delilah's is my favorite whiskey bar in Chicago. It's technically a whiskey dark bar. They're having their 30th anniversary on August 31st. I will be there. And for all you audience members, if you see me there and come up to me and just say, "Hey, Chooch," I'll buy you a drink.
Wow.
Hey, Chooch.
It's going to be an expensive night, Joey.
Not chicken bender.
Hey,
Chooch.
I think Genevieve's coming up to Chicago too. Yeah.
Well, she better be. She better be.
You want to give me your address? Go ahead. Give me your address. Go ahead.
We'll be getting married on site right there at Delilah's bar.
I'll officiate the wedding. Don't worry about it.
The bartender will marry us right there.
Okay, first and foremost, Genevieve, make sure Joey buys you the plane tickets. So
Genevieve, get a prenup.
Yeah, I was going to say, Genevieve, get a prenup, definitely. Cigars not included.
We've got some great swag. We've got a great bottle. Any cigars that we could possibly throw in? What do you think there, Greg? Do you think we can throw in a couple of cigars? What do you think?
Yeah, I'll send a sampler to whoever the winner is. Just give me their address.
Wow, there it is.
Nice.
Wow.
There it is.
Very nice.
Wow. Wait.
Oh, right after these words from our very generous and wonderful sponsors who put up with us. God
They
bless
love
them
us.
all.
They love us. Except the Chooch.
Cigar in the Bottle is 2 palate-pleasing gifts in 1. A specially blended Grand Pommier XS VSOP cognac is elegantly contained in patented numbered bottles. Winner of back-to-back-to-back medals at the LA Spirits Awards, Cigar in the Bottle inventor Forbidden Johnny teams up with Vartan and Hendrik Kellner for this custom-blended Vartan Reserva cigar, well-preserved in a hand-blown glass chamber featuring Bovita two-way humidification.
At Norwood Royal Cigars, we have the biggest walk-in humidor in the Midwest. Our 1,500 square foot humidor is home to almost 4,000 different cigars that will meet the need of any cigar enthusiast. We have boutique blends to the more traditional selections and everything in between. From the novice beginner to the aficionado, the knowledgeable staff at NRC will find the perfect cigar for you. Located on the northwest side of Chicago, we want to be your shop for all your cigar wants and needs. As always, at Norwood Royal Cigars, light it, smoke it, love it.
Experience the magic of Rockefeller cigars today. With 11 years steeped in tradition, passion, and mystery of the leaf, Rockefeller has a cigar just for you. Be like the greatest magicians and make Rockefeller cigars appear in your lineup with any of our 4 lines. The Nicaraguan, the Dominican Blue, the Vintage Gold, and our new LE, The Art of Magic.
Over the Rhine Premium Cigars is located in the heart of Cincinnati, 50 yards south of historic Findlay Market. We offer both known brands and the finest boutique cigars available. Feel free to bring your favorite beverage and relax in Dude Daycare, where dudes of all genders are welcome. We look forward to serving you at Over the Rhine Premium Cigars. And we are a proud member of the Boutique Cigar Association.
All begins at the very first climate-controlled Rodriguez Oliva Cigar Factory, located in the Dominican Republic. Our 2 major brands include Don Olivan, which are boutique cigars suited for that individual who takes great pride in something unique. BAMF is our armed forces cigars, designed for that badass mother effer. Not only are you smoking a great premium cigar, a percentage of the proceeds is donated to our heroic men and women in uniform.
And we are back, folks. Yeah, we are back. We are back. It was a quick show. That's the way it works.
That's the way it works. That's right.
For this segment, just in case the folks here don't know what we do, this is kind of our little trivia questions that I ask what I like to call the dais. Everyone is allowed to answer until our very last question, which is for the audience and for our wonderful giveaways for tonight. So for you folks who are sitting there drinking and smoking
and laughing, we hope.
Well, yes, yeah, but you dummies. The Chooch, this is our mascot. So let me show you who he is. That's the Chooch. And
there's the Chooch. No, that's the Chooch right there.
Well, yes, we know that we have a different Chooch.
Do you still have that picture of our there it is.
That picture.
There he is.
Genevieve,
this is what you get, baby.
This is your future, Genevieve. This is your future right here. Get ready.
And he's not on like that either.
I'm a chicken, a monkey, and a donkey all in one show. What the fuck?
So this question is for you folks there.
Hold on, Genevieve's taking a minute. She needs a minute. Hold on. Have to regroup.
So I do this to Genevieve every time on her Instagrams. I make her die laughing.
Yeah. So this is a very important question. What percentage does Joe have to get on a date with Genevieve? What's the percent?
Zero.
You're all free to answer. What is the percentage? My guess is
5%.
-100.
Zero squared.
Zero squared.
The most important person who answers it is Genevieve. So you might, if she gives you a little bit of a crack here, Joe, you might have a shot.
So you're saying there's a chance?
0.001.
Wait a minute. What are the Vegas odds? Let's take a look.
No, to get serious. Now we got to get serious because this is the serious part of the show.
Oh, yeah.
On this date in history,
Wow, sister.
On this date in history, a lot of interesting things have happened. So this happened in 1974. This president announces his resignation.
Richard Nixon.
Very good
Tricky
there.
Dick.
Tricky Dick. Tricky Richard.
Tricky Dick.
He had Tricky Dick. He did have a couple little questions there. But also on this date in history, in 2001, I can't believe it's 22 years ago, Bob, this
Incredible.
Hollywood golden couple divorces. And they have 2 adopted children.
Bruce Willis.
Fred and Angelina.
Angelina, you're right. Angelina.
Brad Pitt and Angelina.
No. See, Chooch answers. See, these folks don't know. Genevieve, you've got this one, right? You know who they. Let's just say he's a mega star, and she's a pretty decent star, but she remarried to a country singer.
So you're talking about Genevieve and I.
You already got divorced, Joe. You have no chance of getting relinked. So that's it. No, it's actually Tom Cruise
and
Nicole
Kidman.
Oh, this date in history.
Okay.
You know, that was a power couple in
Wow.
Hollywood.
And you know, our Earthling, Bruce Stark, even had the answer.
He did.
He did.
That's because he's got Alexa on
But he
speed
still
dial.
doesn't win anything.
No, he doesn't win anything, but that's okay. But on this day in history, just 1 year ago, and it was a sad day for all of us, when she passed away, and she was a big music star, and she also was an actress, and she worked with
Olivia
her most
Newton-John.
famous role, Olivia Newton-John.
I
passed
was gonna
away.
say I was gonna say a sad day a year ago. That's when Genevieve met Joey G.
No wonder why she's working somewhere else.
Yeah, that's why.
No wonder you never come to Illinois.
Oh, is this for the audience now? Or are you giving one more for the chooches?
One more for the Chooches.
One more for the Chooches. All right. 1976, on this date in history, this 10,000 group convention. Now, this might go into his wheelhouse there at Greg. From July 21st to July 24th, they were in a panic after an outbreak of a mysterious disease amongst
cow.
their ranks.
Man,
No, that's a jackass response.
Oh, you mean a true answer?
That was
Okay.
a jackass response. 24 persons have already died and 87 are ill. Doctors are completely baffled as to what virus or fungus could have caused this
Polio?
illness.
Is it polio?
No,
76
it's not polio.
Legionnaires?
1970 Look at Bob, Legionnaires
Yeah,
disease.
76.
Legionnaires.
Yeah, Bob's had it since '76.
I still got it.
No, you don't.
All right, for the audience, for the wonderful
audience,
prizes,
folks.
big time prizes, folks. Get ready.
All right.
And Joshua, thank you. I'm glad you received your gifts and enjoyed them, buddy. Enjoy, Joshua.
A lot. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
All right, audience
Very-
only.
Now, very important on this date in history, William McCleary cited the English common law, and he was from Hamilton, Ontario, which was actually made. This law was made in 1879, which stated that a man had a certain right in certain cases for his wife. So this was allowed. This was actually legal in 1937 in Canada for this person to do this to his wife.
Ooh. Mr. Carter, Mr. Carter. Go ahead, folks. Come on.
Justin Bieber.
I don't think that's the law.
Look, Brian Singer says to beat his wife. He is absolutely correct.
Brian!
Whoa.
Yes, because of a common law from 1879 that was cited. That allowed him to basically chastise or confine his wife.
And Genevieve is just wondering where she can beat me.
Hey, Brian, PM us your information. We'll get it over to
that law
Greg,
still in
and,
effect?
I think they changed that.
I think they changed it.
Well,
Congratulations.
according to the Queen,
that's to beat her husband.
Yeah.
Or future husband.
There's no law against that.
No, she to be honest, she beats me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, she does. Definitely. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for coming on, all three of you. Really, I hope you enjoyed the show. There was so much knowledge, and the pairing was unbelievable, Joe. You did good. And like Frank said, you've come a long way since you first joined us.
I try.
And Brian, PM us your information and your address so that we can get that in the mail for you.
Greg, we're looking forward to seeing you in November down at Miami. And we'll definitely experiment those other cigars that you have. And Joshua, please, we hope Joey can invite you back and do another whiskey pairing from your distillery. We're looking forward to
How many
that.
different expressions do you guys distribute?
Oh man, from Lochlea, you've got about 5 different ones, but we have about 20 different distilleries we work with, and 31 different brands. So there's a lot to be doing. But maybe I'll see you at Delilah's on August 31st. Who knows?
Oh,
yes. Again, August 31st. I believe it's a Thursday. I'll be there. 4 o'clock is the start time. I'll probably be there at 3.
And Joey will be drunk by 3:30.
I'll probably be wearing the same shirt. And I probably didn't even wash it since today. Come up to me, just say, "Hey, Chooch," and I'll buy you a drink.
And tell all your friends to do the same thing. Let them keep buying.
There you go.
Buying. Anyway, again, we want to thank you all. I hope you had a great time. We know we did. We had a lot of laughs. We're wishing you all the best.
Yeah.
And Genevieve, just say no. Anyway, folks, from all of us to all of you, we'll see you
Prenup, Genevieve.
Thursday night. Frank and Bob are going to be doing a fantastic.
We're going to be at an
event. Go ahead, Frank.
We're going to be at our home away from home here in Heathrow at the Corona Monte Cristo Lounge, where Howard G will be doing an event from basically 6 to closing, and Howard knows how to close.
He's got the
Coronas
keys.
because
He's got the
does have the
keys.
executives of the keys. So Bob and I will be there. We'll be celebrating with Howard. We'll do some Instagram lives. Come down, say hi to us, and if you say,
But we're not
"Hey,
buying
Chooch,"
drinks.
if you say, "Hey, Chooch," we'll just tell you have to buy us drinks.
There you
That's
go.
the way that works.
Genevieve, this is another potential wedding spot for us, by the way.
Greg, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show, and thank you again for putting up with the cigars and dealing with all our stupidity. But we love you. It was fantastic having you on board.
Great cigars.
Yes.
Great cigars.
Thank you, Greg.
Joshua,
Thank
I
you.
hope this was a little bit different for you with with some laughter and everything else that we brought. Yeah. And no more babies. Johnny Carson's not on TV no more. Okay.
Oh, you know what? Somebody did comment that Josh reminded them of. I got to put Josh up full screen here. Of Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
There you go.
There we go. I'm just making happy little trees with titanium white and the whole thing.
It's a happy little Scotch.
Salute to you all. Everybody have a great night, great week.
Genevieve, I love you.
And to the rest of you that are on right now, stay after for the after show, and we'll see everybody next week.
Go out for the after show.
Tell my brothers to line them up. We'll drink that whiskey from those old dirty cups. We'll toast to the present, the future, and the past. This ain't my first drink, but I sure it ain't my last. 'Cause this world is so beautiful. I see its love come shining through. This world is so beautiful. I feel its love come shining through. This world is so beautiful.